Coffee here. hmm Coffee, coffee, coffee. I'm still waiting for my coffee to come in from Life Boost. So we'll see how that goes. We put this a little further back. Awesome. So I hope everybody's doing good today. And we're going to get started with the four agreements again. We just finished the first chapter. Also, if you guys get on here, please, please, please say good morning. Please. For some reason, it's really frustrating for me that you guys don't show up on my live feed as to who's coming onto the live feed. So I don't know. I can't say good morning because I don't see you. There's only certain people that pop up. I don't know why it's coming up that way, but please say good morning so that I can tell you good morning. Okay, we're gonna get started with the second agreement on the four agreements. And this isn't really kind of a hard, I think all of them they're easier said than done, is what I want to say. Because in the practice, good morning, whoever just got on here on Facebook Live, say good morning so I know who's on here, please. Thank you. The second agreement is a little bit more difficult, okay? And the reason why the second, well, they say the first one's difficult, but this one I feel it's a little more difficult only because we see the illusion as a separate thing from us. We think that everything is separate because we're viewing things on the external. So we think that everything that is external is not us, but it is, right? It's a reflection of who we are. Okay. Good morning, Deanna. Yay. Say good morning. Good morning, Will. I see Will on here. Okay. So here is the second agreement. Don't take anything personally. That's hard. This morning, I can tell you there was a lot of people taking a lot of things personally. If you guys saw what happened this morning, big explosion in my family. We do it all the time. Me and my stepdad kind of go at it sometimes, and we have words with each other. And I'm human, like I've told you before, where I get very frustrated. So I'm one of these people who will hold in, and I don't know if you guys are like this, and you guys can chime in if you are, where you hold in energy, right? Sometimes, and you don't say anything. And I do the great work. So I'm like, I'm transmuting the energy. I'm going to the gym to exert all of the frustration I'm getting from this situation, this and that. But what I'm not doing is I'm not communicating with the individual. And then all of a sudden I explode into like a rocket. And then I get very like, rawr. And people are like, whoa, what happened to you? You seem so nice. And I'm like, yeah, well, sometimes. Good morning, meat. Sometimes I am nice, but then there are times where I get frustrated and I lose my cool sometimes, hot head. And so it's because we take things personally, right? And then we start saying stuff to each other that's meaningless or doesn't matter. So how do we not? Okay, so we're going to read on about not taking things personally. Remember, those on Facebook Live, please say good morning because I can't see who's on here. It's really frustrating for me. I don't like the fact that they don't show me. Okay. The next three agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an early example, if I see you on the streets and say, hey, you're so stupid without knowing you, it's not about you, it's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know? Is he clairvoyant? Or can anybody see how stupid I am? So here's the deal. When people project things, good morning, transparent. Good morning, Luge, sir. I think that's right. Sorry if I got that wrong. Good morning to those on Facebook who are showing up. I have to go to work now. Wanted to oh, I finished my drive. Love you. Oh, it's okay. Have a good day at work. And Deanna, also, you can listen on Podbean. I stream live on Good Morning DJ World Night Time. You can listen on the podcast on Spotify if you want to just listen in without actually being on the Facebook Live. Okay. So there you go. So don't take anything personally. super, super hard, right? Because we see life as an extension of ourselves, like it said. And also, when someone tells us something, if we take it personally, we have to ask ourselves, do we believe what this person is saying? Part of us believes that if we take it personally. If someone called me a jackwagon, okay, which is just kind of like a hole or something, and I took it personally, then I'd have to ask myself, am I really an a-hole? If I know that I'm not, it's not going to bother me. It's like someone saying you're a purple unicorn. Well, I don't feel like a purple unicorn. I certainly don't look like a purple unicorn. So how could I be a purple unicorn? So you wouldn't take that personally, right? Because you're like, what? But now let's say that someone says you're a, I don't know, slob. Okay. You're a slob, you're a mess, you're this, you're that. And then you start to say, oh my God, am I? But in your head, you're thinking, I am a slob, I am a mess, I don't have it together. And so you will take on the energy of what other people are telling you because you judge yourself. Okay. So taking things personally is that. Okay. You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we are called personal importance. Personal importance or taking things personally is a maximum expression of selflessness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. So that's kind of funny, right? Because we think the world is about us. It's about me. It's all about me. Everything's about me. And not everything is about you, right? Because other people have things going on in their life. And so they project their things upon you sometimes. But then what we do is we receive that information and say, oh, yeah, it's ours. That's my information. It's mine. Like they're having a bad day. They feel like what they did was stupid. So then they project that outwards to call somebody else stupid or whatever it is. And they project it on the other person. Now, the other person will either receive that information and say, oh, yeah, that's true. That's who I am. Or no, that's not who I am. What are you talking about? There's a great work that you guys can do. I always talk about it, and I've talked about it for years now. And it's Byron Katie, the great work, and it's Judge My Neighbor. So if you guys want to go and do some work, it's free. You can download this information, and then you kind of do this role reversal for people to sort of see how you take something. Maybe you took something so personally, and it has you reverse this information and help you look at it from a different perspective. Okay. So you guys can go online and check that information out. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Bindka. Bindka? Good morning, MMKV3. And good morning to those on Facebook. Whoever's on here, please say good morning. I can't see who it is until after. It just drives me nuts because I have people who have been following for a long time, and when they're on here, I love to see their shining little emoji face or whatever it's called, profile picture. Okay. Now, personal importance, okay, is that we think everything's about me. During the period of our education and our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Sometimes this puts us into a state of pity party. I am Bindka. Bindka? Am I saying it right? And when we start to say everything's me, sometimes we can be like, it's me. I'm self-righteous. I'm right. Everybody's wrong. Or me, it's all my fault. And that puts us in a state of what? Oh, sadness, depression, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So there's different mindsets around the me part. Okay. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live their own dream and their own mind. They're a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we take the assumption that they know what is in our world and we try to impose our world on their world. So basically, we try to insert. Now, here's what I told you guys the other day. What I believe that we are here doing, really, at the end of the day, when you think about everything and you think about who we are and you think about all of the stuff, we're really here just trying to express the illusion or the dream that we're actually seeing. That is why we are here. We're here to merely express and articulate the experience that we are receiving from the stimulus, from what seems like the outside world. When we engage with something, we try to communicate what it is that engagement is, be it happy, sad, joyful, depressing, whatever it is. And we try to describe that experience. That is why we're here. Okay. Good morning, MHXKQW. So, good morning, Coco. So, what we do is we start to project what our internal world is telling us and how the outside or seemingly outside world is giving us this information. We're trying to express what we're seeing and the emotional or the experiential response that we have from the outside world. That's what it is. So we can be having a day where we're experiencing the sunrise and the butterflies and everything's magical and beautiful. And we want to express that and articulate that to people around us. Life is beautiful. Like we wake up and we look and the birds are chirping, right? And then we're so happy. And we try to tell people, like, this is my experience. And then the other person receiving that experience didn't wake up with the birds chirping. Maybe they woke up to someone screaming at them. Okay. So their outside stimulus is something different. And then you guys come together and what they seem is negative, quote unquote, negative to you. And you're like, but life is positive. And they're like, but I'm not seeing that. So really what we can do is listen to people and ask them what their experience is. Their perspective is going to be different than yours. You can never understand somebody else's perspective. Never. Because you don't live in their body. But we can sort of understand certain emotions that we experience because the body will respond in certain ways to certain stimulus, right? So, and we have pretty much the same systems. We have well, not pretty much, we do. We have the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems in our body, okay? These systems send responses to the body and triggers to the body in certain ways. And those responses is how we engage the external stimulus. Okay, so what does this all mean? Okay, because this all sounds like very technical and science. It means that on the emotional front, on the part of ourself that engages this stuff, that there is an emotional response to this, that there is some sort of feeling that we have when we're in connection with the outside world. So when we meet somebody we love, let's just say that. Let's say we meet somebody we love. We fall in love with somebody. The feeling in our body probably is in a parasympathetic state, right? Where we are calm and cool and collected and we feel good and we're going with the flow and everything's moving just right. And it feels good for us because we're not in that tension state of being. Most people stay in tension. Okay. Now, most people are fight, flight, freeze. So I read this article about the F's of the sympathetic nervous system where we're in fight, flight, freeze. And in those things, our body has a certain response to certain stimulus. And we, like specifically in the US, right? People tend to stay in that particular zone area of fight, flight, freeze. And because of that, high stress goes up. Then what we do is we make ourselves wrong for certain things. We're totally stressed out. And then what we do is we take everything personally. So it's all interconnected. So everything is interconnected. We take things personally. What we do is stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, which puts us in fight, flight, or freeze. If somebody says to you, like this book says, you're stupid, right away you want to fight them. Like, I'm not stupid. Let me show you that I'm right. Okay. Or you flee, right? You like, I'm not hanging around with that person. I'm just going to run away. But still, your body has a certain trigger response from it. Or you're going to freeze and not do anything and just be like, but you're not in a state of meditation and relaxation. So your body responds in this way, and that stimulates the thought process, which is like, I'm going to beat them up. Okay, that's the fight. The flight is, I just can't handle this. I need to run away. Flight or freeze. I don't know what to do. I'm just always going to be stupid. Okay, so you have these different responses. Now, the way that your body feels, we'll never understand that. I will never understand how you guys feel in certain situations. You may experience it differently. I may experience it in my heart. You may experience it in your gut. There's different. Now, we do know that there's some common threads of how we experience and engage stimulus. Like, for instance, excitement and fear sort of feel like the same thing. Not excitement and fear, excitement and nervousness sort of feel like the same thing. Most people feel excitement in their gut. Most people feel nervous in their gut. Now, but the physical sensation you're feeling, can I know exactly what it feels like for you? No, it could feel completely different than it does for me. Like people say you get the butterflies or whatnot. What does that even mean? How am I experiencing that? Will I ever know if I'm feeling it the same way you feel it? No, I don't. We just know that it's probably a common thread and it's probably a common sensation, right? And it even like pain threshold. Some people enjoy pain. So how is this interconnected? It's interconnected because everything connects. We can bring it back down to the point and then we can extend it out. And taking things personal, okay, this one agreement, how do we work with it? Okay, they're going to say change your mind, but it's beyond the mind, you guys. There's so much more. So I take it deeper, obviously. That's what I tend to do. Okay. Nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of themselves. All people live their own dream in their own mind. They are completely different from the world we live in. We take something personally. We make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreement they have in their own minds. Good morning, those on Facebook. I don't know who you are. Say good morning to me, please. I want to know who's out here. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during domestication. Someone gives you an opinion and says, hey, you look so fat. Don't take it personally, because the truth is this person is dealing with his or her own feelings and beliefs and opinions. And basically, yes, because then they have a trigger about what fat looks like, or they've been told something about what that looks like. That person tried to send poison to you. If you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes yours. Taking things personally makes you easy prey for those predators, the black magicians. They can hook you easily on one little opinion and feed you whatever poison they want, and because you take it personally, you eat it up. So this is where when they're talking about black magicians, or they're talking about the poison and people, some people don't realize that they're spewing poison on others. But we're in a day and age right now where people are self-aware. They get it. There's so much information out there right now. There's no way. It's almost like there's no excuse for it. There is no excuse for it at all. Okay? So people know that self-awareness exists, but they choose maybe not to be self-aware. That's a personal choice. But the reality is they can't really make excuses for not being personally aware at this point, because right now in the world we live in, with all information at the fingertips is there. It's everywhere. Good morning, Ruby. Oh, Ruby's down here. Good morning, Ricky. The information is everywhere. So to not be self-aware is merely an excuse or a cop-out in my personal, that's an opinion. I would say people that don't have access to all this wisdom and knowledge, which everybody pretty much does. Maybe there's few people in like the Amazons deep in the forest that don't have technology, but pretty much everybody has access to technology. Self-awareness is the biggest thing. When you're self-aware, good morning, Doreen. See, it doesn't show up. Didn't show that you were here. I don't know why. Driving me nuts. That we do have the self. Good morning. How is your mom? I had a dream about her. She love you. Yeah, she's good. My little mama's good. I love my mama. The self-awareness is available for everybody. Now, if we're dripping poison on people or if we're dripping love on people, we know. We can't, I mean, there's really, especially those that come on here, I would say, you guys know, you understand. So ask yourself when you're engaging with someone you love, is this poison or is this love? Is this coming from a place of what? I have to be right. I have to project my worldview on this person, or am I listening to what they're telling me and trying to understand their perspective on something rather than projecting what I think they should be going through, rather than telling them how they should look or what they should do with their life. When people come to me for coaching, I don't tell them what to do with their life. You know what I do? I ask them questions and I tell them, this is up to you. This is not up to me. Baldonado! Yay! Bestie! Hi! Good morning, Holly. Good morning, Melly. My bestie Westie just showed up. Woo woo! Yes, and Baldonado, I can't see who's on here. I can never say good morning to everybody. I see your little, when you give hearts, I can see your little profile face and I can say good morning. But Podbean, I can see who shows up. So good morning to those on Podbean. So let's just do a recap because I got to get off here because I have jury duty today. Yay for me. I do a recap. When we take things personally, we all have our own worldview. We all have the way we engage our life. In the body, we all have the same systems. Are we experiencing these systems the same way? Probably not. We have the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. You guys can go look. It's the nervous system. In the sympathetic system, we have fight, flight, freeze, which makes us actually project and feel, well, we're either fighting, we're flighting, or freezing. So our body's in tension, right? It's not relaxed. When we're in the parasympathetic, we're relaxed, we're open, we're creative. And when we allow others to engage the parasympathetic side of the sympathetic part of our bodies, there is a trigger and an emotion that it gets attached and the way that we think about it. Now, that is all the scientific stuff that happens in our body. Beyond that, we have the ability to choose if we want to spew poison on people or if we want to accept people's poison. So ask yourself, when people are starting to tell you things that feel uncomfortable for you, ask yourself, am I willing to drink the poison? If not, what do I get to do to overcome this? And typically it's engaging with that person and communicating and having a conversation with them. You know, the other day you call me fat. I just want to talk about that. Are you open to feedback? When you do that, this is how it makes me feel. I'm not saying that it's your problem, but I'm saying that please don't tell that to me, or please blah, 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 or whatever. And if you feel like these conversations are coming up in your head, like, oh, I'm too fat, da, 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 and you're telling yourself these awful things, right? That you ask yourself, is it serving you? And if you feel that way, what are you doing to overcome the feeling? Okay? Same thing with anything that anybody tells you. You're an asshole, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this. Okay, whatever. Someone told me I was disorganized. Like my stepdad's morning. We're kind of yelling at each other. It's funny. I kind of laugh sometimes about it. But, it's like, you're disorganized. I'm like, really? That's not going to bother me. You know why? Because I'm not. I know where my stuff is. I have a home for everything I have. So I am organized. So for me, it's like, okay, that's not going to bother me. It just rolls off the shoulder. But if somebody said, I don't know, you're ugly or something, I might be like, oh, maybe I am. Right? Because that would be my internal thought process, my internal mind saying, oh, am I? Maybe I am. Do I look terrible? Like, what, those conversations start to spew up. And instead of saying, well, don't look at me. It's not my problem. I think I'm beautiful. I love myself, right? It's looking at the conversations and how you receive the information that you're given. You can take the poison into you, or you can say, okay, let me look at this poison and let me transmute the poison. This is what peacocks do. They can eat poison. Their bodies know how to shift the poison. Self-awareness is very important. This is what Ruby says. Self-awareness is very important to go forward in your life, for yourself and for others. Having gratitude for yourself and others. Awareness, a big one. Some people have a hard time with. Yeah, I believe, yes, absolutely. Or maybe when someone tells you you're extra. Oh, yeah. Be like, and here's the deal. Like someone says I'm extra, I'm like, yeah, we all are. And I am a little extra. Guess what? I like a little extra stevia in my coffee. Thank you. A little bit more cardamom. Thank you. Yes. Please and thank you. Right? Instead of being like, oh, I'm extra. And no. Okay. But guess what? My clapback was extraordinary. My clapback was extraordinary. Your clapback? What is that? I don't know what that is. Yeah, the extra part, I always say we're all high maintenance. We're all extra. Guess why? The human body is not an easy thing to maintain. One of the hardest things we'll ever do is to operate this vessel that we have been given. It is not an easy thing to operate. The human body is probably the hardest thing. In fact, we want to project and act like we know a bunch of stuff, but we don't even know our own bodies, our own selves. That's hard. So it is extra. But guess what? It's ours. I always tell people this is, oh, yeah, your response. Yeah. I like that you're extra, Melly, because let me tell you what. And this is for me, right? When people will say, I tell people I'm high maintenance. You know why I'm high maintenance? Because I cook my own food. I go and I work out and I have to do this. And I buy the organic this and I do the this and I do the that. And people will say, well, you're extra. I'm like, yeah, but you're not buying my extra. You're not doing my extra. I do it because I matter to me. So when you're buying my stuff, then maybe you can say something. But I'm taking care of myself. I have to. Who's going to take care of me? Someone cannot make me eat healthy food. I have to do it for myself. Someone cannot make me go to the gym and work out. I have to do that for myself. Someone cannot make me think thoughts that are loving and kind. I got to do that for myself. So we all have the ability to do it for ourselves. That's what we do. Do it for you because you matter. Now, when people come in and say you're this and that and the other, I say, okay, so can you. Obviously, you want to be extra too. Or obviously, spot it, you got it. That's another one. Spot it, you got it. And then that goes into the judgment and the different mirrors that we have to look through. But yes, it is hard to be human. It's not an easy thing. I'm going to always say that. It's not easy being human. It's not easy being cheesy. But it's not. And we're working daily to get better at it. And I'm here to support you guys however I can. Okay? So don't take the poison today. Don't drink it. If you do drink it, be self-aware and ask yourself, how do I shift the energy into something meaningful in my life? I ask that question over and over. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to go for today. Thank you guys for engaging on the Facebook Live and on Podbean, for commenting. And you guys are always welcome to comment on, these live videos, and say good morning, please. I love when people say good morning, because I love saying good morning to people, because it is, or good night, good evening. I don't know if people are on the other side of the world. Good evening could be good evening too. But I hope you have your coffee, because I do. And I'm going to drink the rest of it nice and cozy. I don't know if you guys heard that on Podbean. Okay, so I love you guys. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. I get to go to jury duty, and I get to eat before I go to jury duty. So have a great day. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.